What is this?
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 What is this? What is this?
What is this?
What is this?
What is this?
What is this?
What is this?
What?
Mic check. Is this thing on? Okay, so welcome to What is This podcast, episode 23. Episode 23. I've even lost count of what season. I mean, the episode we are in the season. I'm Victor.
I'm Paper 5.
How have you been?
We've been good. We'd like to ask our listeners how have they been in the comment sections because we always see each other every other day, so I don't know.
Yeah.
But good you asked. I've been okay. Mm-hmm. Besides losing my phone over the weekend.
What happened? Is it a deal you can narrate?
It was stolen, simply put. They just had it like
1
right
minute
now.
it was there.
And then like 5 minutes later I don't have it. So that's what happened. Besides that, it was a good weekend. Chilled.
Yeah. Did you attend the African Novo Festival?
Sadly I didn't. My ticket was in the
phone.
The phone that I
was
lost.
stolen.
And my morale just died after all that happened.
Yeah, I know how it can damper you down.
Before that happened, I had an amazing weekend. Mm-hmm. That's all I can say.
By the shout out to Sandra, our producer. Mm-hmm. It's her birthday today, actually.
Yeah.
She's not even around for us to congratulate her. But happy birthday to you. All love from me and Pepper and all our listeners.
The whole team.
We want to appreciate you. So let's get right into
business. I was trying to locate my phone.
Yeah.
So I was trying to find my iPhone. The technology called Find My iPhone.
Weird flex, but okay.
Yeah, it's not weird. But sadly, the person switched it off. So okay. I'm hoping huo mse afungue hiyo simu na jichape maselfie kadhaa hapo.
So over the weekend, when was it?
Saturday, if I'm not wrong.
Friday night.
Friday night.
Yeah, a song graced the airwaves.
Speaking of Chukua
Selfie. Yeah. Speaking of which, so the song.
The thing with this song, I like how not so many people know what it's about. Mm-hmm. You understand me?
Yeah.
Not so many people, like very few, like maybe 5 out of 100% know what it is.
So it's Calligraph Jones, Fena, Juakali, Nyashinsky, and Naiboy, who are featured on the song.
First of all, who do you think did the best verse?
I think it was good hearing from Juakali. Mm-hmm. After a long time, I think I would say a hiatus.
Yeah.
I know that he's working on an album. He said he's working on an album, which I think is sometime due this year. And then I also think, okay, if we are to be Calligraph Jones, I don't think he misses the mark when it comes to rapping. And I think Fena held her own as the only female MC featured on the track. She did a good job. I think I would say the growing sentiment was that Nyashinsky probably had the best, but I don't think it was the best. For me, I think Juakali.
I beg to differ.
What do you think had the best?
Nyashinsky had the best verse, had the best visuals. I mean, that guy always surprises us. Song after song. Anyway, so that's just my opinion.
But I saw many people were confused because even if you look at the comments online, the YouTube people were saying this is the Kenyan response to Wasafi Records.
Yeah, because of the clean visuals. This is funny.
I don't even think it's the clean visuals. I just think it's like how many juggernauts came together to perform this song.
Yeah, okay, the thing people need to understand here is that any song doesn't have to be a response or a counter to anything.
Yeah.
You can just put on something good that almost looks like something from another competitor, and people will pit the both of you against each other, you see.
But also, I think one of the reasons why people think that is because to people who may not know, this just was out of the blue, like it just appeared, and because I didn't know much about Chukua Selfie.
First thought, I thought it was a promotion
for something. Yeah,
I thought it was a phone.
Me too. I thought it was a phone.
I thought it was one of these Y7.
But watching it more and more,
Y9.
Yeah.
So I still thought it was that until I went to Google. I typed in Chukua Selfie, and I found out this is a campaign by Elton John's AIDS Foundation that's encouraging people to take self-test, HIV self-test. And the whole idea of the Chukua Selfie is like, even if you see
the verses,
if you hear the verses and the message that is consistent within all the artists, is that Chukua Selfie, because this new self-test kits. So I think this is the first leg of promotion of those kits and the awareness of how to use them. And then now they'll start, because nobody has said it, or no product placement has been put in that.
All the artists were just like, oh, here's a song.
First of all, I thought I was waiting, when I had Chukua Selfie, I was waiting for to see a Y7 Prime or a Y9. I was like, okay, where is the phone?
I was also waiting for a phone.
I was also waiting for a phone, and the way it's so celebrity filled.
Who shot the video? Do you know who shot the video?
I'll get that information really soon. Although I know the producer. Musioka.
Musioka produced the song.
The song was written by, and additional vocals were done by Brian Nadra. Shout out to Brian Nadra. Song was recorded. Song was recorded at BMW Records. That's by one of the members of Nanoma. And mixed and mastered by Musioka. So basically, the whole project was a really huge success.
And then the guitars on the song were also done by what's his name? Isaac
Ngunda.
Who also did, I think, one of my favorite gospel songs in Kenya, Lingala ya Yesu, and also played on Mobimba. Also has played on the Decimeter album. He's closely tied with Musioka. I can say that.
They work together.
They work together a lot.
What I'm liking about this song is it's already sitting at 1.1 million. This is less than 1 week.
Less than a week after.
Less than 1 week. But I'm well aware that influencers are behind this, pushing it, and plus the quality of the song is also pushing it, because the quality, the song is good and the visuals are good. I'm just waiting for I'm waiting for Ezekiel to ban it.
Wait. After I learned that it was the AIDS campaign, and then now I started getting confused every time I was watching the video, because it was shot at a strip club. There's
conflict of interest. I think the message is like, okay, yes, you guys are having fun, but it's good you have regulated fun or something. Even if you hear Jua Kali, yes, you guys young, wild and free and all that, but regulate your knee, know your status and shit like that.
Which is amazing, because
I know you're saying it was shot in a strip club. Okay. Essentially, a strip club is just there for I know other things happen. However, essentially, a strip club is supposed to be there for the eyes.
Only. And through money.
Nothing else. Nothing else.
Strip club culture.
It's a strip club. It's like a body. Like you're just supposed to display your body. Not sell it.
No, true. Because I think another thing with even how the song was, is it a single? Can you say that it's a single? I really have no idea what.
It can be an album. Of course, it's a single.
As in, will it be pushed as a single? That's what I'm asking. Or is it just a campaign?
It's a single. If it's a single, it will be pushed as a single.
Has it been pushed as a single on TV and radio? Or that's what I'm asking most.
Okay. I don't watch TV.
Me too. So I wouldn't know whether.
And there are no structures to look at here in Kenya, especially. There are no structures to look how a single is pushed or a song from an album is pushed. There's nothing to borrow from. So all I can say is there's a lot of influencer backing in it. I've seen the brand Bundes on Twitter promoting it. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's something good. It's for a good cause.
But I think the thing that's amazing is that it's a low-key project, which up until this point nobody has mentioned it's linked to the HIV.
It's because not many people do their due diligence in researching.
I don't think many people, even those influencers, have you seen anybody mention the HIV self-test?
I think the whole idea of, that's why I said I think this is the first leg of campaigning. Because they want to engrave the whole idea of Chukua Selfie, wanataka ibaki kwa akili yako first. Now the second leg, they'll slowly start breaking down what Chukua Selfie is all about. So I think the whole idea, I think now those guys will be listening to the podcast wondering, I say, why did they let it out first? Why did they let it out to the public first? So, and it's just all about, this information is readily available in Google, you see. So it was just doing a little bit of research. There are so many people under the campaign. Ed Sheeran, you see,
Elton John, Prince Charles. There are actually, from what I understand, is that there are 6 cities. I don't remember all of them. Maputo, Nairobi, Atlanta. I don't remember the other 3. Which it's this initiative of the self-test kits is particularly being launched in Nairobi, and there was a conference in February of this year where or January, I'm not sure, between the two, where the governor of Nairobi, the governor of Nairobi, Mike Sonko, attended the conference.
For those who live in Nairobi.
For those who live in Nairobi, attended the conference, and I think came back with 150,000 kits for the self-test kits. So we have to see. I think the next phase will be advertisements on TV. And with these artists who are
with the word Chukua Selfie. That's why no influencers said what it's all about.
So I think even the artists themselves will be part of. They'll do the advertisements. Hey, I'm so and so. Make sure to do this and that. I think it will be that kind of thing.
Let's just wait and see. Anyway, speaking of influencers, I don't know. I've not been on the interwebs
truly
for some time. However, I'm hearing this whole agenda. Not agenda. Okay, there's this whole brawl. Of influencers.
Influencers.
Okay, number one, I hate Okay, I don't hate influencers. I have friends even who are influencers. However, what I don't like about influencers is like
that's like a racist thing. I have friends from that
race. That came out really wrong. Let me restructure my words. The thing with the influencers, they're in bed with too many people.
Okay, you cannot know where they stand.
So I go to this, let's call this influencer Coco.
that I think that's an influencer there.
Coco is a lady. She's a lady influencer. She has 100,000 Instagram followers. Coco has a YouTube channel. She has a Snapchat. She has like all these social media and Twitter. So Coco is approached by Nivea Kenya and Samsung.
I feel like you're talking about somebody
Chill out.
specific.
We're not mentioning names.
I know, but I feel like you're talking about somebody really specific.
So Coco will advertise Nivea. She will advertise Samsung.
Vaseline.
When Nivea contract imeisha, Vaseline. And all of when she's on Nivea's end, she's like saying this is the best product ever.
Fuck everyone else.
Your contract ikiisha, Samsung haya. Samsung ikiisha, Y7. I've seen Y6. This is Y7. Y6.
Y7. I don't know which is the latest.
I don't know if it's Huawei or Oppo. That one.
That name is
Y7 ikiisha. The next one in bed with them. Oppo. As in, you should have standards.
You think so?
Your feed should not be like a supermarket or with every other brand on it. Haya, Pombe Ikam, Kenya King, Belea. Those ones are too contrasting.
You can't go from Kenya King to Belea.
This is my message to all these Cocos. All these Cocos. Okay, brand yourself in a way that your job that you're taking right now will not contradict your future self. Yes, that's all I can say. But however, also these brands are to blame. Because these guys, they they have a clergy for these Cocos. There are a lot of Cocos out there, influencers called Cocos. So these Cocos, they form that clergy. So they are the only ones. They are no new influencers.
Clergy clique.
Let me call it a clergy. Because they seem to be holier than thou. when you're out there, bruh, these niggas are normal people, but they seem holier than thou.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
So, these Cocos, they form clergies, and they exclude themselves.
Yeah, from the rest of them.
Yeah, they exclude themselves. Yani doesn't offer a lot of incentive for a new influencer trying to engage in the game. See, and with the same people, you won't do the same. You won't do different ideas of influencing.
Yeah. I think the latest case that I have seen has manifested itself in who are these? I think the brand was that we've seen. I don't know whether it's been pretty evident always in Cortex, which are they deal with the sanitary towels for the ladies, and we have seen a clear divide with some influencers taking to the Always side and others taking to the Cortex side.
Yeah.
And it has become a war where, and I feel like there has been a lot of outrage towards one side, and now the people who went to that side have now been attacked. Like, how can you support these? And these people are making, the main argument for people online is that Always makes shitty pads for women in Kenya, and they make better products for other countries. But I feel like what do you think is the role of the influencer in today's market?
It's to influence. Simply.
Do you think they
the role
play?
of influence of the influencer is just number one, to make a brand popular. Like if it's not known.
Yeah.
Number two is to influence, like to encourage people. What do I find in this product?
In Kenya, do they have an impact?
Yeah, that's what I'm explaining, bro. What am I doing?
No, as in, have you seen any fallout from a product that?
Yes, when Sauti Sol started sponsoring Chrome, when Sauti Sol started sponsoring Chrome, Chrome was a really small brand, but right now it's huge.
Yeah,
you get.
Yeah.
So
I think it's really benefited from.
Yeah. Yes. If it could not have been working, why are these brands going back to them? Akina Zentribushes, the Eric Omondi.
Who's the biggest?
I think it's Eric Omondi. Eric Omondi has like 1.7 million views.
The biggest overall.
Yes.
And among the ladies?
I don't know.
Okay, I don't think I know much about
the ladies, but there are a few notable names. I think this is Sharon Mundia. She's quite a
notable name. Yeah.
Yeah. I think if I'm not wrong, she's probably the biggest.
Probably because she even has a crossover audience from online to the TV world, and they, as you said, they have been pushing the song Chukua Selfie. See, which is an amazing feat considering all the traditional branding that companies to do, and now it has completely moved online. You probably, for some products, you probably don't need to have a TV advert for it to get popping. You can just do it online, and you can get your product moving. Until proven otherwise, I still will have to see what the influencers are doing on a grand scale.
Then I don't know what world you live in. But because there are a lot of things you've bought directly or indirectly. You don't know it, but it's already etched in your mind that this maybe you saw it in someone. An influencer doesn't have to be the Joy Candies or the Eric Omondi. Your influencer, I can influence you to do something, and you wouldn't know I've influenced you. It's just that it's so passive.
Yeah,
you get. So you saying that the role of influencer is not apparent? It's really
apart from
it's boiling my stomach.
Apart from Always, which is now catching fire online, I don't think I've seen any other brand come under fire
how that
for
Always,
any product.
How that Always thing will go down is number one. They already have a huge market share in Kenya.
True.
Number one, that's number one. And we've seen so many big brands being attacked. Even McDonald's walikuwa na na panya, like a rat in their
store.
In their store.
Nothing happened.
Nothing happened. Not even in their store, in their food. Nothing happened.
Really?
Yes.
You don't. So you think some things are too big to fail?
Exactly.
Okay.
They will, and they have PR farms.
And they'll weather the storm.
Yes.
Because
they
even
will use these influencers.
Yeah.
To backtrack and apologize or
explain their position. Yeah.
So what I'm trying to say is like they've already established dominance. I would like to assume that.
Okay.
Because me, I didn't know what cortex is. I know I don't use pads.
Yeah.
But if you ask me about pads, there are highly likely chances nitakwambia always.
Probably. That is true. That is
true.
Don't
know about pads. So it's already established that the big industry players in the sanitary pads industry. Exactly.
But I think
itakufa too. Just give it some time. However, I'm not saying that what they're doing is correct.
Okay.
I mean, even if it means upping the price and giving us better quality.
Yeah.
Because I've seen people comparing the products that are in the UK and the US to products that are here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think a greater discussion which is not to be held here nor now is why sanitary pads are sold. But we won't get into that here. Those things should be. This was
actually just by the way, we gave it enough airtime.
Yeah. Back to our music shit. So I have sat for a while with this thought, and I think it's time I put it out to the world and ask you a question, and you give me what you think.
Yeah.
I'm
ready.
Is Sauti Sol the greatest group from Kenya of all time?
Group?
Or are they the greatest musicians in Kenya of all time?
Musicians?
Ever? Yes.
So your question is Sauti Sol the greatest
musicians in Kenya?
To ever come ever?
In Kenya?
In Kenya?
Yeah.
Not of our generation?
Not of our generation.
Okay.
Of
Let
all
me look
time.
at... let me start by saying this. First of all, that idea is really far-fetched.
Why is that?
Yeah, I'm getting to that. So, our industry has been there for like 50 years.
Okay, yeah. Give or take, yeah.
50 years. As old as our country. Let's just say that.
Yeah, since independence.
Yeah, 50 years. And for you to be the greatest, you have to have made influential strides. In the sense that right now, if Sauti Sol die, tragically,
knock on wood, that won't happen.
May God forbid.
Yeah.
The four of them all we've seen planes fall all the time. Yeah.
Oh shit, we didn't even we'll get into that next.
We'll get chill. Right now, what impact have they left in the country for us to call them the greatest artists so far? What impact? With that being said,
their songs.
Yeah.
I think their songs.
Okay. Yes, songs. If we compare now with other artists, personally, I will not even say they are the greatest to ever come out.
Okay.
With living legends such as Susan Owiyo. Yeah.
Yeah, she had all of us singing Kisumu Bear.
Listen, Daudi Kabaka. Come on, yo. Especially that guy.
Daudi Kabaka.
Because his samples have been used over and over again. That's the influence I'm talking about.
Okay.
You get?
There's a song that sampled Sauti Sol that I know.
Exactly. I'm not saying Sauti Sol has not been sampled.
Okay.
I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
You get? I'm saying if you look comparatively with like Daudi Kabaka's influence in Sauti Sol, there's a huge difference. Number 2, Sauti Sol. Yes, they're good musicians.
True.
Right now they're working with a really Sauti Sol as a company has a good structure.
Okay.
Yes. So they have the finances, they have the means, they have the good management to make them.
And they also have a major label behind them, Sony.
What?
Yeah.
What?
So Sauti Sol has a
those are your claims.
No, for real. They have a distribution deal with Sony.
Those are your claims. The last time I checked, Fat was distributing their music. I don't know about Sony.
Let me
Chill. We'll talk about that. However, all I'm saying is Susan Owiyo's music has been listened to like there are people who know Susan Oyo that don't know Sauti Sol.
Okay.
If I was to put, I personally, right now living, Susan Oyo is of greater influence. And she doesn't release as many songs as them. But I think she's better than Sauti Sol as a whole. I'm not gonna go into the individual.
Okay.
And plus, if you're a group, it's really hard to make a judgment because this is a group, you get. You're not talking about one person. Exactly.
So you think that...
So I think the idea of Sauti Sol being the greatest Kenyan artist is far-fetched. Yeah.
But the deal with Sony is actually true. They signed with Sony, which is but you can have different levels of distribution.
That's your theory. It's okay.
It's not a theory. It's true. Okay.
It's okay.
But we'll have to find out why.
We'll find out later. Yeah.
I think how long? When was Sauti Sol's first song?
Is it the Java joint?
Yeah.
Was it that?
Java, which was in
2008.
2008 or 2009, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
Okay, let's give them 10 years. That's longevity in an industry where longevity...
Kabaka started music 1950s. He died early 2000s.
Like, let me see.
So those are 50 years in the game.
Yeah, but
okay, continue.
Okay, but you see, that's exactly
Just
why.
Continue.
That's exactly why he died in 2000.
Susan Oyo started in 2003.
No,
she's still in the game.
Earlier.
She's still in the game, right? She still does performances.
Yeah.
Yeah. Still releases music, right? Exactly. So longevity. Continue.
But you see, that's the thing. How long?
Your claim.
How old was Daudi Kabaka? See, that's the thing. I think
old?
When he died, you see, compared to how long he had been doing music.
Okay.
How old are Sauti Sol? You know, I think when you look at such an artist as Daudi Kabaka, given he's a legend, given he has the longevity, he has the hits under his belt, given that he has all these accolades that we may want to talk about, which means that, and he's been there and now he's gone, rest in peace, which means that I think where Sauti Sol are right now and how many more years they have in their...
We're talking of the present, right?
Yeah.
We're not predicting the future.
No, I'm just saying how far they can still go because of the time they have. Time is the only currency that we truly have, you know? So when you look at that, you can make an argument.
By any chance, are you sponsored?
No, I'm not. As in, I hated their last album. I'm waiting for their new album.
You hate it, but you jumped to it all the other time.
I don't. I only like one song from there. But you see, from that point on, and how I think now even this year they're even expanding their wings. They're broadening their wings. When they were given the cosign by who's this guys, P Unit, with the Gentleman, I think that was their coming out party to East Africa, and with how P Unit relaxed after that, or a few years after that, and Sauti Sol kept going, and now they have all these features with international musicians, and now they have a label, and again they have and again now they're bound to do a couple of more things. I think, okay, I feel like I'm really beating around the bushes to why I think that, but it was just a thing that I was asking because I don't think we have seen people with that so much, especially in this generation.
How many careers have sprouted in terms of music or artistical musicians have sprouted through Sauti Sol as artists?
Can I make an argument and say Kagwe Mungai as a producer?
I've told you as a musician.
As a musician?
Yeah. Ben Sol aside, his career is just simmering.
Okay, yeah. I don't think, but I don't think I can find any.
Daudi Kabaka had a band. He was playing amongst a band.
Okay.
And
so you're saying that Daudi Kabaka is the greatest Kenyan musician alive? I mean, not alive ever.
I've not said that. I was comparing. If we are to put them in a scale,
okay,
then Sauti Sol have been beaten by Daudi, have been beaten by Susan Oyo, have been beaten by who else? Okay, those are the only ones I can mention off the top of my head.
Let me do this, which is really not usually a fair thing to do, but when you talk about influence, when Sauti Sol released Live and Die in Africa, which I think is their best album, they released it exclusively for 48 hours on Safaricom for free, as a free download. Free download being they'll consume your MBs and you can only download using your MBs, but
and
it's on
they had
Safaricom.
almost 500,000 downloads.
Yeah, in 2 days.
In 2 days. Okay. Yes. So
that is I think showing how big they are. Popularity.
Yeah.
If
There's
we
a
have to
difference
take
between popularity and influence.
Yes, if we are to take if we are to take the first 10 years of Daudi Kabaka's career and just the first 10 years of Sauti Sol's career, who would you say has done more?
Sadly, I wasn't around when Daudi Kabaka was there. When he was beginning his career.
Okay.
However, just the fact that his music is still being played in the 21st century, music that he produced in the last century, is to tell you a lot. Maybe then there were no measuring points or scales like the way
I think there were better measuring scales then.
There's no downloads we can look for in 1960s or 70s that Daudi Kabaka had 50,000 downloads because there were no even phones. However, now we have tools to market. However,
analytics.
Analytics. Just the fact that his music is still being listened to probably by my dad or my granddad.
How many Daudi Kabaka songs do you know?
I don't know the names, but I listened to this and I was like, oh shit, these things are even played in Kenyan music festivals.
In high school.
In high school.
Okay.
That's influence across board. My dad listens to that shit.
To speculate.
My great granddad listened to that shit.
To speculate.
Me, when I was in high school, I played that shit probably, and probably even my son will listen or play that shit.
To speculate.
And recite his lines.
To speculate.
And probably Sauti Sol will sample Kabaka.
Okay. Nikupeleke Java won't be. I get your point.
Exactly.
Nikupeleke Java won't be played 10 years from now by your kids in a.
We're talking about now, and I asked you that question.
And that's why I'm saying
that question.
And that's why
right
I'm saying.
Now.
And that's why I'm saying. I think they still have a long way to go in their career, and what they have accomplished so far.
Java has not been recommended by the Kenyan musical festival. Has it?
Soma Kijana, monumental songs. Sura Yako, a wedding song. Short and Sweet, I don't know what category of song that is, but it's just an amazing song. Melanin, a love song.
So far I've given you
Isabella
You've only
is a
given
ballad.
me like one.
Isabella is a ballad.
Even let's work with Season Wiyu. She has transcended, like she's performing in big arenas like the Nelson Mandela was it 95th birthday?
She performed for Nelson Mandela. I can't say for what
exactly, like she performs like for international why aren't they picking Sauti Sol?
Sauti Sol is performing
why aren't they picking Sauti Sol? They are picking Susan Wiyu.
Sauti Sol is performing at SN.
Good for them.
Right.
Don't get me wrong. Say it in a hit. Me, I like Sauti Sol. I'm a big fan of Sauti Sol. I'm just looking at is it really fair to
claim that
these are the greatest we've had.
They have the hits, they have the accolades. They're performing at Essence Festival July 4th to 7th in New Orleans.
It's like right now saying Kendrick is like and there's Biggie and there's Tupac and there's
But another argument which we can have right now is most musicians are considered legends because they died young, which is an argument we can make. If we saw their careers pan out, we wouldn't probably see their career.
So you can't have a legend who's old and alive. So Jay-Z isn't a legend.
That's one. Give me like 5.
No, I'm just asking.
Jay-Z is one.
Given that instance.
Jay-Z is one. But for every Jay-Z, you can find 10 other artists who can put out a song that will do well. Not because it's a bad song, but because it doesn't fit with the current times.
Nas,
His last album was produced by Kanye West. Which
okay, let's get back to the Kenyan arena. Nyashinski.
Nyashinski made a comeback, which is very different from you being consistently in the industry and continuing to put out music and us seeing where your career goes. I still make the argument that maybe
I was comparing Nyash to Issa. Because you said people are considered legend by their premature death.
Yeah,
that's what you said.
Yes, that's what I said.
You know the good thing we're recording this.
Yeah, that's what I said.
So
yeah,
like
like
giving
Issa.
you a comparative.
You're comparing
argument.
Nyash and Issa.
Yeah, they were in the same.
They were in the same time.
Around the same time. Yeah, exactly.
One passed away, held as a legend. Another is still. Another went away and came back.
So you're saying that if Issa was here right now, he will not have been a big name as he is?
That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, if Issa was still around, his music might not have panned out as well as us to consider him a legend. That's not. I'm not. I'm not saying that he's not a legend. I'm just saying that maybe he wouldn't have released the continuous number of hits.
On probabilities.
Yeah, but that's all we have to go by because his life and his career.
To Issa?
Right now, no, I don't. I very few times.
Yes.
The only song
last week you listened to Issa without knowing. Chini kwa chini by Mayonde.
Oh yeah, okay.
So chill. So you saying Issa is not influential?
No, I did not say that.
Will not have had a big impact if he was not here.
If he was really here,
wrong.
if he was here,
he's really wrong. If he's still, he's like how died in 2003.
Yeah, I think he was 23 or
exactly.
20.
And
he was
right
really
now,
young. He was really young.
His words we're still talking about him.
But that's what I'm saying.
That's
what I am saying.
You think you will not have learned the game as it is right now if he comes back and adapted to the current environment.
Exactly.
And Nyash did the same.
No.
He went.
Nyash went away
and came back and learned the game.
Yes, he
gave us.
Keyword being he went away and came back.
Okay. I don't know how. I don't know. I don't know what. I've given you an example.
Listen.
I've given you a logical flow chart.
I'm just saying, if we see your career pan out, we'll have a better idea of what it is that you are about.
Give me an example, true to your statement.
Big Pin was a big star when we were kids. Mr. Lenny was a big star. Okay, nameless one came back. Mr. Lenny, he was big when Jim Watt. He was big when we were growing up. Look at them now. They continue to produce, but their consistency faded off, and then they just were washed. If they release the song, just like we were saying, talking about Jokali. Jokali was, in as much as he's not releasing the mainstream music that he's known for, he still has output, and that output, you can still see that he has the game, because Jokali's flow has never changed ever since the first song that I had from him, which was Kiasi. It has just been the same, and and you see, he's stuck to something that works, you see, and up to this time, you can still say Jokali is a dope artist, and you can still say he's one of the best rappers in Kenya. You can make that argument, and you wouldn't be wrong, But what I'm saying is, if somebody like Issa, God rest his soul in peace.
I like how you get away with some cheeky wording, at some or not many. So this whole conversation stemmed out by you saying, just repeat that statement you said.
Some artists who are considered legends now, because they died young.
Once you say some, it's an open playing field.
Yeah, it is.
Exactly.
Okay.
So there's no basis of a conversation there.
Do you think that
if we're using numbers to tabulate wrong or right, then it's an open field. Some on a higher scale or a lower scale?
I think on a higher scale. Going by the number of artists.
So you're saying death kills. Death gives you legendary status.
Not always, but for some people it does.
On a higher scale.
On a higher scale, it does.
It does.
Yeah.
And so.
Can I give you a very recent example? XXXTentacion, who died last year in the United States. He was 20 or 21? 20. How many albums did he have? 2. Okay, given time till he was 30, do you think he will still be the same? He will be considered the same. I'll give you another example. With all the bullshit that, not all the bullshit, with
considered the same in terms of sales.
No, his artistic merit.
First of all,
Kanye West is still around. If Kanye West had possibly if he had died after his first 2 albums, do you think people will view him how they view him now? The more you stay on earth, the more chances you have of fucking up. That's, I think, what I'm getting to. And if you do something dope and you get out, people will be like, oh, that's really dope, and then he's a legend. You see, because if Kanye West would have died after his first 2 albums, we'll have had College Dropout, which is like one of the best albums, and we'll have had Late Registration, which is another great album. You see, if damn, I've forgotten, XXXTentacion, will he have continued producing at the same level? That's what I'm wondering. Kanye West has not continued producing at the same level.
I guess
Will Issa have continued producing at the same level? See, that's why I'm saying sometimes when people die, that's what gives them the legendary status, because what they have done is so dope, but we haven't seen what they could have done, how they would have adapted, how they would have changed the game. You see, all those things.
I mean, if I'm given 5 sets of 3 points, and I do the first 2 sets complete, and on the first 2 sets I have 5 trials. So the first set I do 5 3-pointers.
Yeah.
The second set I do 5 3-pointers. It's very highly likely the rest of the sets I will do all of them 3-pointers. You get what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, I know. Yeah,
exactly.
Okay.
So all I'm saying is probably the next album in the trenches for X will have been really dope, even probably better than the question mark album.
For Issa?
Even better. We don't know. Because if you're working with probability, if you're good right now, you're good kesho. 2, you'll probably be good the day after kesho.
But let me tell you why for something like law that might be true, but for art it might not be true, because the sound that was around when Issa was popping is not the same one that's there now. Okay, it's kind of similar, but there was an obvious shift even in like 3-4 years after he passed. Like, it changed completely. Will he have been able to adapt to it?
Yes, why not?
Because we've seen people who failed to adapt to the sound.
Issa's sound was really different. It wasn't the same all through. He could give you a club banger. He could give you a really motivational song.
Like?
He could give you like Hamni Shiki, Hamni Babaishi. That's telling your haters. And he could give you Boomba Train. Exactly.
Okay. I think this discussion may never end, but I think the bottom line is
just because we don't agree, it might never end.
But I think
we can agree to disagree.
Okay, but can we agree that
an agreement?
Can we agree that we never see where we may have never seen where the artist may
never seen, but we may have had a good prediction at it. Short at predicting it.
No, but artists fall off all the time.
Actually, we may have a good prediction of it. Many people thought that like who am I thinking about? After your first song, people think that you'll come right back and release another dope song, and then maybe you do, and it doesn't maybe catch on that much, and then you stop, and then you don't have anything else to produce, and then now you've fallen off, and then now people all of a sudden are like, what happened to that guy? He had so much promise. Hat the band, for example, they're making they're doing well as performing artists, but as recording artists, I feel like they missed their chance. When they had the momentum, they could have killed it, but they slowed down. You know, they tried to I don't know, not they tried anything, but the chance that they had to be really big artists, they didn't take it, and now all of a sudden they don't have the hits that they used to have after what's that song, Uliza Kiatu, and a few others, which were really dope. You see, that's what I'm saying. Okay.
Anyway, I noticed something really interesting with Sony Music, which has signed which has a deal with Sauti Sol.
Okay.
And also has a deal with Songa. And then last year, Universal Music Group, UMG, bought AI Records, which is home to the likes of TP Mazembe and other legendary groups, bands from the 70s. AI Records was actually one of the
top. It acquired 70% of the record.
Yeah, which is basically the whole thing. They own it. And apparently Warner acquired rights to have the catalog on Mdundo. They actually never acquired rights. They had a licensing deal.
Yeah, with Warner Music.
So
that was back in 2017 actually.
The music on Mdundo is licensed to Warner.
Yeah.
Now my question with all these things is, do artists know this? Do Kenyan artists know this?
I mean, if we know it, it's readily available in the internet. So if they want to know it, they can easily get it in the internet. Yeah. So the ones who've done their research, why not? I mean, I heard the most downloaded artist in Kenya is Willy Paul from Dundo.
Really?
Yes. He actually owns, that blog spot was saying he owns Mdundo.
Is it because of just his popularity or his consistent output? Because I think there's both.
If you're popular and you keep on removing song after song after song.
We will have a Willy Paul discussion on this podcast one day. Maybe not today because I'm not ready. But I feel like people need to respect him more as an artist. Not as like, I think, a gospel artist or whatever. Nah, just as an artist.
Respect you mean?
Like people should recognize greatness when they see it.
Down as he walks.
Yes, if it needs to get to that, but people need to respect him, because now those are the kind of artists who, when they pass, God forbid, they now all of a sudden it's like, oh, that nigga was so good, he's such a legend, and people, you're not giving people their flowers while they're still here, So I was just wondering whether Kenyan artists realize what is happening, because that has been happening under wraps. It's just like low-key things that are UMG is coming in and buying this, one is coming in and signing deals with Dundo, Sony has a deal with Songa. And even if the artists know, how do they position themselves? Because I feel like these labels these are the biggest labels in the world. They each has, but I think UMG has the biggest market share. How do artists position themselves in such a way that they can benefit from these majors being in the country?
I was actually meant to understand that, first of all, the companies that are acquiring these other small companies are subsidiaries of the main company, which are all in the Western, like in America, right? So like the Warner Music Group is a subsidiary which is in South Africa. So probably those were just shots that were called here in Africa, not from the main campus in America. UMG was acquired by the one in South Africa. You get? So these are just shots that are called from a subsidiary of the main conglomerate company. However, getting to your question of how artists should position themselves, we're talking about Kenyan artists, bro. These are people who, number one, they're either not well educated about the music industry and the business that entails to the music industry. So how will they know even what positioning is about in terms of who is right now? Me, I don't even know who the CEO of Mdundo is. So how will I know even
who to call?
Mdundo was acquired by Warner Music. Exactly. So people probably don't even know all this information.
But you know why I think that these majors have like greater interest, as you pointed out correctly.
Not greater. It's not that great.
No, but as you pointed out correctly, it's the African subsidiaries making the calls. But I think in the recent years, since I think 2015, we have seen a shift in the mainstream sound into the Afro beat sound that is here. I think also, is it Wizkid and Davido, or let me say Tiwa Savage, Davido, and I think YC, and YC have deals with Sony.
Even Wizkid
too has a deal with Sony.
By RCA, which is owned by Sony.
Yeah, you see, and as we know, how Wizkid wrote Unforgettable for.
Okay, that's subject to
discussion.
However,
it came from
a reliable. He had
something to do with Unforgettable.
Yeah, whether he wanted it to be known or not. Yeah. Yes, he had something to do with it.
There was a report that was going around that Ranton was in studio with Rihanna for her new album.
Which I'm waiting to hear that. That's really dope.
I am really excited for it. And you see, and even from the reports going around about Rihanna's album, is that it's really Afro and dancehall. You see, which means that all these majors have Rihanna is signed to Rock Nation.
Yeah.
Rock Nation is a subsidiary of Def Jam, which is under UMG.
Yeah.
See.
Okay.
You see,
the thing with these companies in any market, it's usually an 80-20 rule.
Okay.
The biggest companies, which are 20% of the market,
they own 80% of the.
So even if they come here locally, Brookside.
Yeah.
So Brookside owns 50 companies. As in, that's a number I've just thrown out there, but it owns a lot of companies.
It has acquired many companies.
Yeah. So, like with this, the same thing happens to the industry, the music industry.
Okay.
You might even find the way you're saying Sauti Sol has a. You say they have
a deal with Sony.
Yeah.
But it's
Labda Tani just under the table, but we don't know about it, or maybe the few people who know about it don't want it to be known yet. So in the sense that how can an artist position themselves? I don't know how they can position themselves to benefit maximum benefit from these big labels. Yeah. But
what I was saying is, in as much as it's the African subsidiaries calling these shots, I think they are maybe not under a directive, but there is an interest by the parent companies for them to acquire and position themselves for the African market.
They know that Afrobeat sells,
and it's the new wave.
Yes, the shots were maybe, and you don't have to. They know they have to be in every corner of the world. That's why. Yeah.
So I think we'll have to watch this situation closely and see.
Hopefully,
what happens.
If they bring base, if they set base up here in Kenya, we'll be the first people to benefit from this.
Us
as Kenyans. If they bring UMG Kenya, or they put a subsidiary, there's UMG Africa, and then they put a subsect there, UMG East Africa.
But they already have that with AI Records.
No, the thing I came to understand with AI Records, those guys are essentially people who sell vinyls and old record music and CDs.
But so, they were a record label. So
and they haven't signed anyone so far. However, news are they're signing a really popular upcoming group. There's an offer on the table. Yeah.
Okay.
The really popular group has been doing a lot of rounds on social media and internet.
Okay.
Internet stars.
We talked about this, but we can't talk about it on air. Okay.
So if they start signing people through AI, that's really good.
Okay, but let's first wait and see. So have you seen any new music that has caught your ears?
I was listening to this remix by the Council and the Uchungulo.
Just last week I was wondering where the Council were, and then I realized that they can't have been that quiet for no reason. They're working on something. And I don't think I was surprised with them being on this remix, because that is their sound. Like that ratchet shit is
ratchet shit.
That's them.
Okay, first off, like, I don't know about you, but if I was behind the team of these young promising musicians, Uchungulo family.
Yeah.
I will advise them not to be in bed with certain groups such as Hype.
Hype Entertainment.
Exactly.
We saw what happened.
Given, I'm not saying I'm bashing these people. Given their track record with groups and managing artists.
Let's say which
I was about to say that the ethic situation.
Yeah. I
would not, in my right mind, be in bed with someone who has apparently undercut another artist. Yet the same way Badman was being bashed by other industry players. How can you undercut Lil Wayne
and
blah,
he
blah, blah.
gave you some of the biggest
exactly hits. So that was a really funny move for them. However, I like the song.
I didn't like the fact that each had 8 bars, but I get because those are 6 people and you're trying to do a commercial record that
so you wanted who to have more bars?
Each. Nelly the Goon could have done very well with 16.
He's my personal favorite. So.
Major could have done. I wouldn't have minded 16 from him. I'm glad Cora had 8. I didn't like I didn't see where he was taking us with what he did on those 8 bars.
Yeah,
those should have been given to somebody.
I'm 100% sure this one will be a bigger one than the original.
You think so?
Yes.
Because I have realized that that OG node in Kenya is really important because the artists who
really just supporting my statement
will never have known without that node from the OG. Msupa being one of them. Have you checked out any of Msupa's music after?
What business do I have doing?
She's a Kenyan artist. She'll support her. I don't know. I saw.
She's a troll.
I liked that. I liked that song. Victoria Kimani also put out a song with Sarkodie. Did you hear it?
Yeah, I heard it, and I wasn't pleased.
Why is that?
Because I don't know why she's trying this Nigerian. Okay, we get you're trying to capture the Nigerian market.
Yeah.
But that's
you can do better.
That lingo she was okay. It just pissed me off. It's irritating. However, Sarkodie had saved that song.
But I don't like. There's something so dope about Sarkodie because he raps and I don't hear what he's saying, but I know he just sounds cool. Like he just does that. Who else? Do you know Justo?
No.
This white guy who was doing the Moho challenge and then he popped off and then he became yeah. He has a song.
I'm gonna listen to
it's
that.
It's called Good Times. It's he samples that you catch me on the rat like on the highway like a rat.
Rat on the highway. Wow, that's funny. That sounds funny.
Stop wasting my time. Stop. Yeah, he samples that and uses it as the hook of the song, which I don't know. I felt a way about it, like why he would be the one to do that. And then who else did I see? Whose music else did I see? Yeah, I think that will be the ones that I saw. So I think we should have tackled this at the beginning of the podcast, but we didn't. The Ethiopian Airlines plane that went down on Sunday, which is a really sad situation. And air travel is the safest mode of transport, but when there's a crash, it's really devastating.
It's the safest, but when you're on the other side of the scale,
it's really
the unsafe side.
It's really there's no two ways about it. That's the sad part about the air travel. So our condolences to all the families that lost their loved ones in that tragedy. Which is really funny. People are watching. The whole world is watching that situation because that was a new plane. It had been delivered it hadn't been just been around for like 4 months and then it crashed. This is just a few months after another one of the same planes crashed in Indonesia. So now countries like China and Indonesia have grounded that plane. All of them. In the US, some airlines have.
Boeing should be liable. She'll take full responsibility.
So it is a sad situation that we'll continue to monitor. Our condolences to all the families and who lost their loved ones and friends. And I don't even know what to say, but it's just sad. So we'll see you guys next week. Thank you for hanging out with us. Continue to share, like, subscribe, and share with your friends our podcast. If you like what you're doing, tell us. and all that.
Shout out to Brav, shout out to Menelik, shout out to these are listeners, by the way. Shout out to who else did I meet over the weekend? Shout out to Keith Worms. Shout out to everyone who listens to us. If you want a shout out, by the way, hit us up. When we meet in the streets, hit us up also. Say something, critique, anything. It's a growing community. By the way, there was a spike in listeners on the last episode, so keep sharing the link to the podcast. And I know we never dropped the video to the last episode. We're working on it. Our editor had some family issues she was dealing with, and I know that's not an excuse. However, we're all humans, so that's it. That it is what it is. And also, this video is not gonna have, this episode is not gonna have a video due to the same reason we've just told you. So yeah, I think that's all. See you next week.
Bye.